Hey, once again, ladies and gentlemen, to another video. Today we're doing part 8 live stream. Let's get to it. Well, let me fix one other thing. That ain't working for some reason. I don't know why. There we go. I got too many cables right now. Okay, I might need it. Okay, that did not work too well. I'm making a mess. Well, at least I got waterproof seal on everything. Spilt my water. Let me try to fix one little thing. Okay, TV, I don't need them. There we go. I don't know why the TV's not responding correctly. Okay, so try to tear up stuff back here. Okay, so if I remember correctly, I gotta get okay, I'm gonna have to restart the game because okay, so that why does it keep kicking me out? Okay, I'm gonna turn that music off. Why have I not got audio now? There we go.
I need something to open the lock. The key would be best, but a wire would do.
So go back upstairs. Don't know why the thing said it had no audio. That did not make no sense. So where do I go to get a wire? So no, in the last one we got, what was it, a bobby pin?
Mr. Kreutzer clearly feels...
Okay. There we go. I will say this game's just a little hard to control sometimes. Okay. Apparently he's supposed to get this guy away. Which...
The bottle should be full of water, unless the good constable happens to have a secret alcohol problem. No way to verify that. I can't get the bottle without him noticing. I'll let him play for now.
Okay,
Salty sea air in my old lungs, wind in my thinning hair. If I hadn't become a policeman, I could have been a sailor.
depends on you can handle this seasickness.
I don't know what else to ask her at the moment.
Okay, where are we supposed to get this? Now I would say that would probably work to get in that door. It's too big. Honestly, I would just break this. Make it easier.
The metal of the tongs feels cold from the smooth handle all the way to the tips.
And why did we need to know that for? Come on now. There's where I was talking about. That hard to control. Where do we get the piece we need?
Miss Mayers doesn't really seem to be much help in my investigations. She's probably too busy thinking about her fiancé.
No, it's because she's a blonde. Okay, I don't want to go in that way. Or if I get myself stuck, let me go back. get my own self stuck, and that's not gonna be a good outcome. Okay. There could be something I'm missing. Because I definitely don't have my eyes on, so that could be an issue. And where's the professor at? Wait. Hold up. Did I go in here? I don't think I did. Nope, he ain't in here. I don't think. Nope.
I wonder what information Legrand is keeping from me. If I didn't know better, I'd say he was hiding something.
Supposed to get that, but I don't know how to.
I don't care what Legrand and Dr. Gebhardt say. The blood spot looks strange, and I'd like to take a sample. Better not. The pillowcase is evidence. I shouldn't smear blood on it.
Darn it. Okay, so maybe I need to... figure out how to do that. And you are no help. You're supposed to be watching. You're her butler. I'm gonna go down here and see. I'm pretty sure ain't nothing there, so might have to pull my phone up a little. Okay. I'll get my walk. I'll get you right now. Because I gotta figure what how this works. person, that made no sense. Something. Once it's on PC, so it's a little different. That ain't no pinch of salt, I can tell you that. So they take it to. Okay. So apparently you got ammo for the thing. What it's telling me. So we'll see.
A model of the Lydia before it was rebuilt. It used to be a freighter. The wide hallways, the cabins, and the saloon were added later.
Okay, I guess I missed that option. Let's see what it says this time. There we go. Okay.
If I had some ammo, I'm sure I could hit the bottle.
Where you get the ammo from? Okay, this snap match. Look for.
The globe nicely shows that 4/5 of the Earth's surface is covered by water. Looking out the window, I'd call that an understatement.
I'm gonna try some. I'm so confused with this game. I'm so confused with this game. Okay, I figured it. There's a spot that I missed. Now I see it. So we're back on track. Had to go find the...
Aha! Little stones.
Yep.
Perfect ammunition for the slingshot.
Awesome. Now we're back on track. Finally. I'm gonna make him mad. Big time. Okay, so go down this.
All right.
Ow! 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 Ah! Hey, Zola, what in blazes was that?
What?
Something hit me!
You mean someone shot at you?
Yes, well, no, I don't know. Didn't you notice anything?
I was riveted by the fantastic view. We Swiss aren't used to seeing the horizon like this.
And my bottle's broken too. Oh, I don't believe this. Could you bring me something to drink? Those ham and eggs were pretty salty.
I'm sorry. I have to proceed with my investigations. Goodbye. Let's see how long he can resist his thirst. Not long at all.
Okay. Maybe the thing we need will be down here, maybe.
Nervous? I would be too in your position. Who are you?
My name is Adil, and you are...
Constable Zellner. Why did you sneak onto the ship, Adil?
I wanted to go back home.
You're Egyptian?
There's no work for me in Italy. I want to see my family again.
And since you don't have money, you stowed away.
So what if I did?
So, it was you who knocked me out?
Me? Never.
No? Where were you when I was attacked?
Well, I couldn't take anything with me on this trip, so I snuck into the kitchen and took some canned goods.
Interesting. And how do you know when I was attacked?
Well, I thought it was yesterday, shortly before we set sail.
I take this bump personally. What were you searching for on deck last night?
I was hiding the whole evening. I wanted to go out and get some fresh air, see the stars. But then suddenly, they were looking for me.
Were you in one of the cabins?
No.
Did you see anyone on the deck or on the roof?
No.
And after we arrested you?
The English policeman put me in this cell. Then he left. I've been here ever since.
And you didn't notice anything along the way?
No, nothing.
What about the gunshot? Didn't you hear it?
Yes. The English policeman had already arrested me. We heard a bang and looked around.
And then?
Then, the Bobby was in a hurry to get rid of me. He almost pushed me down the stairs and locked me in here. He left, and then a short time later, the alarm went off.
Constable Oliver wasn't with you anymore when the alarm went off?
No. I was scared that the ship would sink with me sitting here like a rat in a trap.
It's hard for me to believe a single word of your story.
Because I'm a foreigner?
Because you seem to have learned our language in the space of a day. Accent-free.
Believe what you want.
Who paid you to distract us?
What?
You went for a walk around the deck and let yourself be seen. Everyone goes off hunting you, and in the meantime, your partner shoots the Baroness in peace.
No, I didn't do anything. I didn't want to distract anyone. I just want to go home.
You're a liar, and a bad one at that.
But sir, I'm telling the truth.
And I'm the Raven. Inspector Legrand will deal with you. He's lying like a cheap rug. But he probably doesn't know anything about the murder. Very disappointing. So I have to keep searching. What interests me most is the shot that was fired here in the cargo hold last night. Whoever fired the shot hit the crate. I could take one of the saws with me as a souvenir. On the other hand, it'd remind me of my bump and of my rather inelegant escape.
I'll just take the thing.
Somebody put the trunk back on the shelf. I can't tell whether it was our young friend or someone else. cargo hold also seems to serve as a changing room for the crew, at least for the ones who don't wear white uniforms. A stroke of luck. The lock is open. Oil-stained overalls. And here, an old toolbox. It's been through a lot. Hardly any paint, dented, and the lid is held shut by a wire. I'll take it with me.
Okay.
Some wrenches, a bit of wire wool, an oily cloth, and here, a screwdriver. This piece of wire held the lid of the toolbox closed. The wire is quite strong, but flexible all the same. Maybe I won't get another chance to look around the cargo hold. I must try to find out who was responsible for the shot. The young man is lying like a cheap rug. That much is clear.
Okay.
It must be uncomfortable traveling like that, even if you're as young and slim as our guest in the cell over there.
Now it's getting kind of like,
I've got the screwdriver. That's all I need. Well, I think the bullet is still in the wood. I'm not a weapons specialist, but at first sight I'd say that this bullet looks exactly the same as the one Dr. Gebhardt gave me for Legrand. That would mean that the murderer also fired a shot here in the cargo hold before the murder. But why? Did they just want to make sure the old guns still worked? Or was it something else? And did the bullet really come from the same gun? I can only check that in Legrand's cabin.
okay, so now we can actually.
That takes the biscuit.
I noticed that the door was unguarded. I just wanted to make sure that everything was all right.
Tell it to Legrand. He's expressly forbidden anyone to speak to the witness before he does.
All right, let's go to Legrand and tell him what happened. You fell asleep and then you left the door unguarded. Well, are we going? Hmm?
No, but don't try it again.
Of course not.
Okay, so now we get to go into. Let's see what happens now. Now we go into lab. Okay.
Well, you screw... The lock isn't especially secure. I should be able to open it with the wire from the cargo hold.
Okay. Really, there gotta be a mini game for this. Um, really. Okay. I'm so confused. Oops. Thing I ended.
I'm out of practice.
Yeah. I figured it was gonna do that.
The lock isn't especially secure. I should be able to open it with the wire from the cargo hold.
Oh, wait a minute. Now I see. So I gotta do it. Oh, that's gonna take some time. So that one I gotta kind of move that to the tab. I gotta move down a tab. I see what I gotta do now. Let's see this guy. Tell not good stuff like that. So I gotta move up. Move up to the it's gonna be a long time. There's one janky looking key. Oh, so I can't keep. Gotta make sure it's okay. So now I gotta do the last two. So it's gonna be a long repeat. hard to see sometimes. Oh, there we go. Finally.
There we go. Legrand must have taken and developed the photos himself. He even made copies and enlargements. He seems to be prepared for everything, with access to more resources than a normal detective. Legrand must have taken them yesterday at the crime scene. Shot in her sleep. She didn't feel a thing. She went to sleep and never woke up. Yes, that's how we found her yesterday. I think. I wasn't really myself at the time. Yes. The bed, the blood spot. The spot on the sheet is much bigger than the one on the mattress. There's blood on the blanket as well. A lot of blood, I'd say. This photo provides an overview of the crime scene. A rough diagram of the ship. Legrand marked the Baroness's cabin. Seems like he didn't turn up anything else of note. The blanket and the sheet are gone. I guess they're in the medical center. No. Nothing suspicious. There's nothing written on the bottle. I suppose it's some sort of stimulant, legal or not. Legrand has been awake for at least 30 hours straight, maybe more. Legrand's file on the Raven. Centimeters thick, but totally useless. We're not dealing with the Raven. Why can't he see that? Our man is ruthless, a bomber, and quite probably a murderer. This is the pipe from the cargo hold. Legrand seems to have inspected it for fingerprints. I can still make out the powder. No. Nothing to see on the end of the pipe that the attacker held. Either he wore gloves, or he cleaned the pipe. Aha! That's the bullet the doctor removed from the Baroness's corpse. This file belongs in a museum. The inspector should concentrate on the present. Another alarm. It was tripped at some point, but there's no way to determine when.
Okay.
A microscope. Looks like the one that Lutz Reichinger uses in his pharmacy, just more modern. Okay. I need the second bullet for a comparison.
Oh.
All right.
Oh, it's gonna be a puzzle.
That's the proof. Whoever shot the Baroness also fired the shot in the cargo hold. What could that mean?
Watch, that guy's gonna come in there. Oh.
A lockmaster and son. Tough to crack. If I wanted to steal the eye, I'd concentrate on getting the 3 keys. I can't put the pillowcase under the microscope, but I don't need to. The burn marks are visible to the naked eye. A masterpiece. Forensic teams use kits like these, placing increasing importance on the preservation of evidence. But not in Switzerland yet. It's a small lab used to conduct simple analysis on site. All right, what have we got here? Half of the tools in this box will be interesting for an archaeologist as well. Actually, forensics and archaeology are really quite similar to each other. The goal is to find out what happened, whether a few hours ago or a few centuries ago. A small glass bowl for mixing chemicals. I'm sure Legrand could work magic in this alchemist lab. Me, I'm just awestruck. What's this? Oh, how practical. A hermetically sealed cotton swab for collecting samples. I'll take it. Aha! This is some kind of inventory list. For each chemical, it lists the chemical composition and a short comment on how to use it. And here's a list of the most important procedures. Fingerprints, gunshot residue, blood. I don't have to analyze the pillow and feathers to determine whether there's gunshot residue. I can smell it. And I don't have any other clues at the moment. Fingerprints are overrated. Smart thieves wear gloves, or they make sure that there are too many fingerprints at the crime scene to check them all. Good Lord. Good Lord. Good Lord.
So now let's go get the sample. I'm curious.
Smells like chemicals. Legrand probably developed the photos in here.
Probably. downstairs, get that test done for that sample.
I always wanted to do that. That should be enough.
Okay. So now we go. I don't think it is blood. Don't take a degree to know blood changes colors. I mean, when drying, it becomes brownish. It doesn't stay red.
Wasn't there something about blood samples? Fingerprints, gunshot residue, blood. Well, it explains how to confirm that something is blood. That's a start. You have to mix luminol and a hydrogen peroxide solution and then drip or spray the mixture on the blood. The solution turns blue and glows even if there's just a very small amount of blood. Okay then, luminol and hydrogen peroxide. Aha, hydrogen peroxide solution. Aha, luminol. Okay, I'm filling the pipette and putting it down very carefully. So, let's see what we have here. No blood. Not the slightest reaction. If I didn't make a mistake, and it wasn't that difficult, then the spot on the Baroness's bed isn't really blood. But if it isn't blood, what is it? And more importantly, why didn't Dr. Gebhardt notice anything? He was supposed to have examined everything. I'd say it's time to visit the medical center.
Okay. How you gonna do that? 'Cause you gotta wake the doctor up.
It seems impossible that Dr. Gebhardt could have shot the Baroness. He was with me when the gunshot ran out. But he must have noticed that the Baroness was lying in a pool of fake blood. Maybe he's covering for someone. Let's find out. A tape recorder from Seibling. Interesting. The reel in the Baroness's cabin is from the same company. A microphone was plugged into the tape recorder. Maybe Dr. Gebhardt records the results of his examinations and writes them down later. The player is rather basic. Simple, sturdy, practical. It's probably for emergencies, in case a passenger falls down and can't walk anymore. Possibly due to rough seas, or maybe the captain's well-stocked bar. The player is rather... I guess the trash bin is in here. Right. Paper towels, plastic packaging, cartons, and... Hold on. What's this? A burst rubber glove. It's knotted, and there's a red liquid all over the inside that looks like blood. I bet good money that it's the same fake blood I found in the Baroness's cabin. Dr. Gebhardt will have trouble explaining how rubber gloves full of fake blood got into his trash bin. First, the fake blood he missed in the Baroness's cabin, and now this. It doesn't look good for you, Doctor. The Baroness lay in a pool of fake blood. What does that mean? And why didn't Dr. Gebhardt notice? The sink looks like it's been cleaned recently. I can't say whether it was cleaned to comply with the hygiene regulations or whether there was another reason. Interesting. A tape on a reel. The reel belongs to a much better player, like the one from the Baroness's cabin. I can't be certain that this is the reel that was missing from the Baroness's cabin, but it seems quite likely. Okay. Nothing. Strange. There! Very interesting. A shot is audible on the tape, and the reel comes from the Baroness's cabin. It's all coming into focus. Time to pay Legrand a visit.
No. No.
Don't. Oh.
Why couldn't you just leave it be? Let me go. Why are you doing this to me? You and the Baroness. Dr. Gebhardt, I don't know. Don't you understand what you are forcing me to do? You don't have to. It is almost over. You won't feel a thing. I am sorry you have to see all this. I should have used more chloroform. Chloroform. Still partly numb. Can't reach it. A pair of scissors. Arms are bound. Already. Enough of that, Mr. Zellner. Soon it will all be behind you. I am sorry you have to see all this. I should have used. A pair of scissors. Already.
Oh, wait, what?
I am sorry. I have to distract him. Chloroform? I had it in my bag, just in case. You were supposed to be asleep. I am not a monster, you know? I have nothing against you. Nothing at all. But what can I do? You forced my hand. It's your fault. Yours alone. Can't reach it. Keep talking. Why? Why did the Baroness have to snoop around? did you have to snoop around? And that bluff there. You want to plant evidence on me, yeah? I left no evidence. There is no trail. And yet you can't just leave me in peace, can you? A pair of scissors. Take it easy, Mr. Zellner. You will only hurt yourself. Shall we begin? Shh. It's almost over. I will...
Are you okay?
Okay.
Thanks.
A wet towel works miracles. I told you so.
Out with it then. What were you doing down there?
Inspector, at least let the constable recover his breath.
He almost killed himself.
Me? No. Dr. Gebhardt would have taken care of that for me. Where is he?
Gebhardt is vanished without a trace. We're searching the ship from top to bottom.
One at a time. Tell me, Zellner, what did you find out?
Dr. Gebhardt killed Baroness von Trebitz.
Impossible.
Do you have proof?
Besides the fact that he wanted to kill me?
But wasn't the doctor with you when the shot was fired?
The shot that we heard was a recording. The Baroness had a tape recorder and good speakers in her cabin. Good enough to make the noise audible on the upper deck.
Is that just your suspicion, or do you have proof?
There's an audio tape in the medical center. The reel belongs to the tape player in the Baroness's cabin. And there's a sibling reel in her cabin that belongs to the recorder in the medical center. He recorded it in the cargo hold. His tape recorder has a microphone, and I removed a bullet from one of the boxes down there.
And it came from the murder weapon?
All right.
Inspector Legrand.
Let's pretend you're onto something. The shot we heard was just a recording. What happened next?
We all ran to the Baroness's cabin. She lay comatose in a pool of blood. Dr. Gebhardt pushed past you so that you couldn't get too close to the Baroness. He examined her and pronounced her dead. There was no reason for us to doubt him. The shot, the blood, the Baroness lying there lifelessly. But she was only unconscious, knocked out by the chloral hydrate that the doctor had poured into her glass shortly before.
The doctor had a glass in his hand when you came in.
He wanted to remove the evidence, but you gave me the glass instead, Captain DeConti, and unintentionally knocked me out as well.
Nonsense. There was blood everywhere. And the Baroness is certainly dead enough, isn't she?
Then who did shoot her? And when?
She wasn't shot. She was poisoned.
And yet I saw the hole in her chest with my own eyes.
Aha!
She must have been shot.
Well, Ingenious, where was she shot?
As I already said, it was Dr. Gebhardt. He had the sleeping Baroness brought to the medical center, where he had all the time in the world to shoot her.
A fine theory, but unfortunately incorrect. I examined the Baroness before she was taken away. She had a bullet wound in her chest.
Besides which, she was already cold when we brought her to the medical center.
All the same, it's worth considering the possibility. The doctor was alone in the cabin for a while. When the alarm went off, it was deafening. I couldn't even hear myself.
And I found a pillow with burn marks. Could have been used to muffle a gunshot.
And the blood?
The blood wasn't real. Dr. Gebhardt mixed up a liquid that looked like fresh blood to the casual observer, but the liquid remained red instead of becoming darker and browner from exposure to the air. That meant he had to clean the body and get rid of the bedding.
But the blood was already there when we first entered the cabin.
Dr. Gebhardt was in the Baroness's cabin before the murder. He hid a surgical glove full of the red liquid under her sheet. The Baroness, dead tired, fell onto her bed. The glove burst, and the blood spread across the bed. I found the burst glove in the medical center.
But why did he do it? What was his motive?
Inspector?
The Baroness was blackmailing Dr. Gebhardt.
What's your reasoning?
Isn't blackmail always a good motive?
It's worthless without proof.
It had to do with the Eye of the Sphinx. The Baroness was supposed to bring one of the keys to Cairo.
So Dr. Gebhardt was the Raven?
I don't think so. But perhaps he was working with him.
No, no, no.
Do you have anything to contribute, Constable?
Confession, sir. Dr. Gebhardt was the Raven. It's all here. He admits to everything.
What does it say?
It says, "Do you still remember, my dear Nico? The streets were wet with rain and the scent of roasted barley and fermenting yeast wafted over to us from the brewery. A dog barked until your shot struck down the innocent one. After that silence, not a single sound except for my soft steps fading on the wet cobblestone street. They made a hero of you, and I, at last, found peace. At least until the urge returned. Some of us are not made for retirement, my friend. I thought they would assign this case to you, and that thought pleased me. We'd finally find out who was truly the better man. And it pains me now to have to admit that you and your little gumshoe got the better of me. You drove me into a corner, forced me to make mistakes. I congratulate you on your triumph, but no one will confine the Raven to a cage. There is but one way out, and that is by my own hand. Farewell, Raven Hunter R.
Inspector Legrand.
Very odd.
Inspector?
I was right. I told them all, over and over again. But no one would listen.
You think that Dr. Gebhardt was really the Raven?
The things Gebhardt describes in his letter aren't part of any police report. Only someone who was there would know them.
Couldn't there have been others involved? One of the police, for instance. What if one of them changed sides?
Why is it so hard for you to accept the simple truth? There was never a new Raven. There was only ever the old one. And that was Dr. Gebhardt.
The modus operandi doesn't match. The Raven was not a killer.
Legends are rarely what they seem to be, Constable Zellner.
Then who was the man who was killed back then?
William Jackson, a petty thief, committed some burglaries together with his brother. Talented, but not world-class.
And they thought he was the Raven.
Some people thought it was part of his disguise. If you're a debonair master thief, what better disguise than pretending to be a common crook? From time to time you let them catch you pulling small jobs, and no one ever imagines you're capable of a major heist.
But you didn't believe it.
I had my doubts, but everyone congratulated me, and those doubts were pushed aside. It was like being caught in a storm, but eventually the storm passed and my doubts were still there.
But not this time? No doubts telling you that Gebhardt isn't our man?
It must be him.
What about the handwriting, the wording? Does the farewell letter match the Raven's other letters?
Yes, it's his handwriting, his words. I've read all the Raven's letters, all of them, over and over again.
I never thought it was possible. A resurrected Raven.
The Raven was never dead. I shot the wrong man.
But that man had the stolen goods, didn't he? So he must have been in league with the Raven. One could hardly call him innocent. Where do we go from here?
We deliver the eye and then I'll contact Paris. A task force will compare all of Gephardt's known residences with the Raven's activity.
And if there are any inconsistencies?
You're welcome to keep an eye on the safe if you can't let it go. The ship will remain in Cairo for 1 day. That's all the time you'll have to catch your own Raven. I already have mine.